Good afternoon, everyone. This is quite a turnout. Thank you very much for coming. My name is Morgan McDonald. I'm the Physical Activity Coordinator for the Region of Queens, and thank you very much for joining us here in person as well as online. And we are here to celebrate residents from the Region of Queens who have achieved unbelievable feats on the international stage. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the traditional and ancestral lands of the Mi'kmaq people. We are honored today with a number of guests, each who can speak from their unique perspective about the accomplishments of today's Olympic Wall inductees. It's my pleasure to begin this Olympic Wall induction ceremony by welcoming to the lectern the Mayor of the Region of Queens, Scott Christian.
Wow, welcome everybody. I'm going to start by saying wow, because Kim Maslin, our minister, she always says wow with such enthusiasm at the start of the speech. And I usually have to go after her, so I'm first on the docket. I'm going to say, wow, thanks to all of you for coming out today. And thanks very much to Morgan for all of his effort and his team's effort in putting on a great event. We could just give a hand for Morgan. And thank you to all of you folks for coming and watching online. I'm pleased to be here today as part of this exciting event for Queens Place Emera Centre and for Queens County as we celebrate and honor these world-class accomplishments of two of Queens County's athletes, Jillian Young and Rececca Delaney. As well as their coach, Susan Inglis. Amazing. I also want to recognize the ongoing accomplishments of Sarah Minton, our local Olympian, who continues to be such an inspiration, I think, for you folks and for the whole community. And I know I speak for Sarah, that she would have loved to have been here today, but had a prior commitment. So clearly there's a tremendous amount of work that goes into earning a spot on this prestigious wall, and the athletes and the coaches that are being honored today have all represented Canada at one of the highest levels of competition, at being the Special Olympics Games, the World Special Olympics Games, the Olympics Games, or the World Paralympic Games. And clearly, rising to that height requires so much dedication, many hours of practice, focus time, competition, and commitment to train to be the best, or to coach athletes to be their best. But as I look around the room, I don't only see the folks that we've gathered here to honor, but I also see their support network. All the various friends and family, coaches and officials, and the community who have helped these elite athletes achieve their best. And so thank you to all of you for what you've done. Yesterday, at the grand opening of our new track and field facility at Liverpool Regional High, Sarah Minton spoke about how difficult it can be to describe this community as she travels the world, and what's so amazing about Queens County. And she said it's challenging, but that she feels that track and the accomplishments of these athletes and how our community binds together to support each other to achieve great things, that's really at the heart of what makes Queens County special. And so I think today we also see that on display. Now, this Olympic wall was established a mere 3 years ago in 2022, and so who would have thought at that time that we would be unveiling the 11th and 12th inductees today, a mere 3 years later. For a small community, the athletic drive, the competitive spirit, and the quest to achieve the best is strong. This is only the third time that we've brought the community together to honor these inductees on the Olympic wall, and it won't be the last. And looking at the wall, it looks like we're filling it up pretty quickly here. So we might need to build another wall. But no, not that kind of wall. Earning a spot on this Olympic wall at Queens Place not only showcases outstanding world-class achievements in sport, but each of these people are role models and inspirational people in our community. So we're very proud of these inductees being honored today. I can't wait to see your banners unveiled here momentarily. And with that, I'm very happy to welcome to the lectern Lisa Ross. Lisa has made significant contributions to sailing at the Olympic level, the Summer Olympics in 2004. She represented Canada as the skipper of a three-person, I don't know how to say that word, Inglis class. In the 2008 Summer Olympics, competed in the ILCA class and was the first female Canadian to compete in this class of the Olympics. And in the Pan American Games, she competed in 1995, 2007, showcasing her skills and experience in international sailing competitions, and then as the national team coach for Sail Canada in 2020 and 2023, helping to develop and train our athletes at various levels of sailing. Lisa's achievements in sailing and her role as a coach have made her a respected figure in Canadian sailing, in the Canadian sailing community and beyond. Your contributions to the sport and your advocacy for inclusivity continue to inspire many. So please join me in welcoming Lisa Ross to the podium.
Hi everybody, can you hear me? It's great to see you all here today. This is an amazing turnout for an incredible event. Celebrating two incredible athletes and an incredible coach, and welcoming them into this special wall of sporting heroes. It's a privilege to be here to share a few of my thoughts about sport and belonging and what this wall represents. This wall is about inspiration. It's about how local heroes right here from Queens County have and continue to inspire the next generation of athletes, coaches, and community leaders. It's about overcoming challenges, being resilient, and discovering what you're capable of when you fail and must respond. The stories behind me aren't just about medals or records or achievements. They're about people committing themselves to just getting a little bit better every single day through a relentless commitment to learning and growing. No one shows that better than your own Sarah Mitten. She's an athlete who's inspired Rececca and Jillian and Susan and countless others. Watching her myself at the Paris Olympics competing in the rain, not knowing at the time that she was dealing with the loss of her father, was incredibly powerful. That day in Paris didn't go as she hoped. She finished 12th. But that's how things go in sports sometimes. But what she did next showed everything that's right about sport. She stayed to watch the rest of the final, to learn from her competitors who were navigating those adverse conditions. She spoke to the media with honesty and grace. And when she came back at the next year's World Championships, she came back stronger and defended her gold medal. That is resilience, that is courage, and that is exactly what this wall represents. One of the best things about sport is how it creates belonging. At its best, sport reminds us that we are connected, regardless of national identity, that we share something bigger than ourselves through the love of sport and competition. In my own sport of sailing, people of all ages and abilities can race together side by side. Out there, it doesn't matter who you are, we're all dealing with the same wind and waves. That shared experience builds community. It creates a sense of belonging that's hard to find almost anywhere else. I'll never forget the first time I represented Canada. I was 17 at the Pan American Games in Argentina. I remember putting 3 simple letters on our sail. We stick these stickies on our sail, and normally they're numbers, but I stuck C-A-N on my sail, and there were no other numbers. And at that moment, I realized that I wasn't just representing myself. I was representing everyone who helped me get there. My teammates, my coaches, my family, and the people who back home who might be watching the Pan American Games saying, maybe I could do that too. That moment made me proud, and it made me hungry to have those letters on my sail again. Sport changes us. It teaches us to learn, to lead, and to believe in ourselves. Rececca and Jillian are living examples of that. Their courage, work ethic, and willingness to push beyond what's comfortable, that's what makes champions, and that's what inspires others. As Rececca's favorite saying reminds us, let me win, and if I cannot win, let me be brave. And Jillian's simple but powerful motto, never give up, which she says in the mirror every day before competition. Both speak to what sport is about. It's about bravery, effort, and belief. Chasing big dreams, whether it's at the Olympics or right here at home, you must be an optimist. You must believe in yourself and what's possible, even when it's hard. Every athlete who made it to the games or made it this far has faced setbacks, but they didn't stop. They kept going and they believed. That optimism, that commitment, and that courage is to keep trying is what the wall stands for. So today we celebrate Rececca, Jillian, and Susan, and let's remember their story, what their stories mean to the community. Belief, courage, resilience, excellence, belonging. Thank you all for showing us what's possible, for inspiring the next generation to dream big, work hard, and believe in themselves. Thank you for the privilege of being here and sharing this moment, and I can't wait to see the big banners. I was saying the same thing. I think you're going to have to blow out this and get a new part of the atrium, because this community is definitely hitting above their weight, and it's awesome to see. Our next speaker will be President and CEO of the Special Olympics, Michael Greek. Michael's involvement in the Special Olympics began way back in 1990 as a volunteer coach, taking his team to the 1994 National and the 1995 World Games before being hired as program director in 1999. And he has been in the role of CEO since 2005, and it's my honor to welcome him to speak.
Thank you, Lisa, and everyone. Thank you for having us here today. Lisa did mention that really her path to Olympic glory started at the Lunenburg swimming pool when I was teaching her swimming. Maybe that's why she started to get in the boat, because I wasn't a great swimming coach. I'm not sure. But very, very cool to have seen her and her brother as young children, and then follow her career path to the Olympics and representing Canada, and also representing sport and making a difference in sport in our community and our country. So congratulations to Lisa, and pleasure to be here with you again today. So my role quickly is to talk a little bit about Special Olympics. I'm hoping that many of you do know what Special Olympics is, and many of the people that I'm looking at are foundational members of the organization. At its heart, we're a sport organization, and as Lisa just talked about, sport changes people, sport makes a difference, and sport can inspire us all. And we just happen to focus on individuals with intellectual disability, but the reasons people are in sport transcend any type of disability, whether it be in Paralympics. I'd be crying too if I listened to these speeches. So yes, the Special Olympics is thankful to be recognized. It's an important organization, and this community supports Special Olympics like none other. And Susan, I'm not sure if you are going to be speaking, so I'm going to, she's going to be inducted, but I'm not sure if she's speaking. So, she is speaking? Okay, so I'm going to let you thank the people that I know you're going to thank. So I was going to get to that. So I will then talk to you very briefly, because I could go on for quite a while, about our first inductee, Susan Inglis. So I'm going to give you some facts. Susan's been a volunteer with Special Olympics as a coach for just over 10 years, starting very shortly after her daughter Rebecca fell in love with Special Olympics. Susan observed, she assisted, she was mentored, and quickly became a very valuable part of the Special Olympics Lunenburg Queens coaching staff and a member of their local organizing committee. She has coached at many provincial summer and winter games, both in track and snowshoeing. She was selected to be part of Team Nova Scotia for the 2024 National Winter Games in Calgary. And from there, she applied, she received an interview, she was selected as an alternate and then selected as a coach for the 2025 World Winter Games in Turin, Italy, which is where that nice jacket came from. She's also recently been voted by, from the leaders across our province in Special Olympics as a 2025 Coach of the Year for Special Olympics Nova Scotia. Those are some of the facts, but I want to just spend a minute and talk to you about some of the, what I think of as intangibles that truly make her a world-class coach and person. In 2023, she was the keynote gala speaker at our major signature event in Halifax, where she spoke about her and Rebecca's journey. It was very vulnerable and it was very inspirational, and she did that to help others to grow our movement in Special Olympics. It was extremely well received. She's been 28 years with the Nova Scotia Department of Community Service, where she's trained to work with and helps a very broad range of people, and she brings those skills to the coaching field. When she was asked before the World Games about her goals, she talked about being able to be a role model and to guide people. Susan is the type of coach that we all want for our family members. She has knowledge, skill, compassion, dedication, and energy. She is world-class and fits perfectly among the people on the wall behind me. If we could have Susan come forward. And I've been congratulating Susan Inglis as she enters the Wall of Fame.
Thank you to everybody who's here. What an amazing crowd this is to celebrate my girls, and I guess myself, but they're mine. I'm going to induct both Jillian and Rebecca today, but before I speak about them each individually, I would like to talk about our World Games experience overall. They were both attended the National Games in Calgary. And for Jillian, it was her first National Games that she'd gotten to attend. Rebecca had attended the 2018 Games in Antigonish, but it was her first one out of province. Major accomplishment for both of them, and a lot of training went into preparing for those games in Calgary. They both did so well there at those games that they were then selected to be a part of Team Canada, which amplified the commitment and the training. They had to keep track on the computer. I say they, I think maybe more Kelly and I, but had to keep track in a computer program of everything that they were eating every day, the amount of exercise they were getting, the training they were doing. And when it came to training, there was a lot. We did either inside Queens Place, outside, of course, in Nova Scotia. We don't get that much snow anymore. So sometimes it's a little difficult to actually get out and do snowshoeing, but we were lucky enough. Rebecca went to 2 training camps, one in Calgary and one in Quebec City. Jillian was a little bit of a later addition to the team, so she went to the one in Quebec City, where they with lots of snow for them to train on, so they did get some snow training, but they had to train at least twice a week with running, which was preparing them for snowshoeing. And then we also came to the gym, and I don't know where, oh yeah, Neil's hiding over there. Neil helped us with some training programs for them. Neil's a big hit with these guys. And of course we had Earl, who was the training coach for each of them. Couldn't have done it without him. We also had Betty Ann, our beloved Betty Ann, who are very good friends and kind of like family of Special Olympics Nova Scotia staff. We had Krista who came along with us for most of it, and when it came time to actually go to the games without Krista, Rebecca said to me, "Mom, what are you going to do without Krista?" And I said, "I'm not sure, Rebecca." But we managed. We would have liked to have her there, but we managed. Also, our local board and other coaches from Karina's back there. She helps us out as well. From Lunenburg, Queens. Darlene, our regional coordinator, couldn't do things without her because I don't know where she finds time to sleep, because she does a lot of things. So getting to World Games is not just about the athletes, the coach. There is so much more to it. It was an amazing experience overall. We went to a completely different country. For Jillian, it was the first time she had flown when she went to Calgary, and then for her to get on a plane and go to Italy, pretty big deal. So now I'll speak about each of them individually. So I'm going to do Jillian first. So for anybody who doesn't know Jillian, if you look in the dictionary under enthusiasm, Jillian is there. Jillian is our cheerleader. You always know when Jillian is in the room. She is a mama's girl, maybe a little bit. And so when she went to Calgary, her mom Kelly, she didn't come right with the team. Well, she did kind of travel with us, but she stayed in the same hotel with us, which meant that for Jillian's first real experience away from home, Mom was there. She got to see her every day, at least once. We'd arranged some time down in the lobby for her to spend some time with her mom. But then when I called Kelly to say, Jillian's name came up as a possible member of Team Canada. What do you think about that? Because I knew that was going to be a really big deal. Jillian was flying across the world without her mom. Kelly thought about it, and she actually surprised me, because she said, I think she can do it. And she did say she didn't think she could do it if Rebecca and Nick and I weren't going, because that gave her the comfort of knowing that she didn't have her first mom, but she had her second mom with her. So she said she was going to talk to Jillian, and they decided that Jillian could make this big commitment, because it's a very big commitment, and make the trip to Italy. So Jillian trained very hard. Jillian has come leaps and bounds in all areas of her life since she became a member of Team Nova Scotia to go to Calgary. She has grown so much, and I am extremely proud of her. Then we get to Italy, and like I say, she brought all that enthusiasm with her to Italy. Everybody on the team knew who Jillian was. And we got there. It was every day when we started off, we had to walk. It seemed like 5 miles up a hill. It wasn't quite 5 miles, but it was straight up a hill to get to where we had to go to get started. So it was a workout to even start the day. But Jillian got there, and in true Jillian style, I got to tell this one little story about it. She was running her, what they call the divisionals for the races, so seeing where she fit. And she was running the 200, which is hard for Jillian. She has to work really hard to make sure she gets all the way around that track. So the first time she was trying to get around that track, well, she didn't quite make it without stopping. So the area that we were in, we were on a track that was surrounded, we were in a ski town, so it was surrounded by like ski chalets. And people had realized what was going on and come out onto their balconies with pots and pans and were cheering us on. So Jillian had to do a stop, and I'm going to demonstrate. This is Jillian. She's tired. She stops like this. And she notices all the people watching her. Has a little chat with them, which I think made their day. Jillian's style. But then when it came to the final, for the 200 meter, Jillian poured it on. And as you can see, by what's around her neck, she achieved a gold medal at the World Stats. Amanda's Jillian's new favorite person. Yeah, so Jillian has brought home this gold medal for everybody, but for herself firstly. So without further ado, we would like to induct Jillian Young to the Olympic Wall of Fame. About this one. A lot of you have heard the story about Rececca and how she came to start in Special Olympics, but for those who haven't, I'll give a little brief story about it. So Rececca has a very rare seizure syndrome that she has to take 3 different anti-seizure medications for. And her neurologist at the IWK that she had used to say to me, like, she's doing amazingly well considering these medications because they all have a sedative effect. So Rececca gets tired out really easily, has to have a nap pretty much every day. So I didn't even know the special athlete program existed in high school until after Rececca was out of high school. Nobody ever mentioned it to us. So when Rececca started at Burge House in Bridgewater after high school, she met some other people that she made immediate friends with, and I went to the parent night to get some information and meet the other parents, and another set of parents, the Coveys from Lunenburg County, mentioned Special Olympics. Has Rececca ever tried Special Olympics? And I said, Rececca can't do sports. Like, when she was little, I put her in soccer, she picked the dandelions from the field, you know, she just didn't have any interest in sport. So, but, you know, she had these new friends, they were all doing this, so I said, well, why not, let's try it. So she tried snowshoeing, and of course she fell in love with it, because anybody who ever comes to a Special Olympic practice, as Amanda can attest, because she came to her first one yesterday, falls in love with it. It's addictive. She met, you know, so many friends, and so she became a member of the snowshoe team, and then in the summer became a member of the track team. Her first games that she went to, she came home with, I think, 3 medals, and I said, wait a minute, she can do sports. Well, I guess I didn't know anything. She surprised me. So when it came to training, she, like Jillian, she made the team for the Calgary Games and trained really hard for that. And then along came the offer for the World's team, which was pretty exciting because I had already been named as an alternate to the team, but Rececca had, and I was like, oh, this is weird because I've never done anything with Special Olympics that Rececca hasn't been attached to. So it was a little bit weird, but then she got named to the team. And we started the training process, and she was lucky because she didn't have to go without mom. But she's very good at coach and mom. So although, you know, she was really upset about something, she could come to me, but she tried not to do that because she tried to keep it as the coach and athlete relationship, and she did a really good job at that. Before I finish with Rececca, I do want to mention that Nick is here as well. Nick Scorego is a member of our Lunenburg Queens organization. Nick lives in Bridgewater, so although he was also a member of the team that went to Calgary and then to Turin with us, he doesn't get to go on the wall because he lives in Lunenburg County. But hopefully Lunenburg County will do something to recognize him because he did an amazing job as well. So when Rececca got to Italy and made friends with all kinds of other teammates from all over Canada that she still talks to because she is just somebody that makes friends wherever she goes. And when it came to competing, Rececca ended up being in one of her races, she was in the second fastest heat in all of Canada. And her other race, she was in the fastest heat for all of Canada. She came 4th and and fifth, I think. Yeah, fourth and fifth in those two races, which to me was an amazing accomplishment to be running in the fastest races for Special Olympics in all of wait a minute, the world. Not Canada. She did that first and made the team. All of the world. So it was really amazing to see all of them perform on a world stage, because you have no idea what the competition is going to be like until you actually get there. And so the best moment of the whole games for me, selfishly, as her mother, was when her relay team for the 4x1 relay blew everybody out of the water in the fastest heat and came away with a gold medal. So without further ado, Rebecca also deserves to be up on that wall. So let's see your picture.
The Mayor of Queens, to come up here, and we'll ask each guest and inductee in turn to come to receive a small token of the municipality's appreciation for their attendance today. We ask Michael Creed to come up, please. And Olympian Lisa Ross. Special Olympics coach, Susan Inglis. Special Olympian, Jillian Young. Special Olympian, Rececca Delaney. So I'd like to close today just by recognizing the countless hours of support from family and friends and community volunteers that make something like this possible. So a round of applause for everyone in this wonderful supportive community. Our guests and inductees will be available for interviews from media that are present afterwards, so please find them when we're finished up here. For everybody, thank you very much for coming to Queens Place. We love to see so many people here. This is a wonderful public building. You are always welcome at Queens Place, so please come and see us. We also have a program to reduce barriers for folks who are trying to access the services here at Queens Place, and programs from the Region of Queens Municipality called Rec for All. We have some prints today that are for sale that can be signed by our Olympians and wall inductees today. So if you're interested, we have those on site, and all of the money will go to our Rec for All program. Our Rec for All program covers up to 90% of the cost of our programs here and across the region that are from the Region of Queens. So if you know someone who needs that support, please reach out to myself or any of our staff who can help you with that. Also, we have the cafeteria is open, so our friends at the Queens Club have the cafeteria open for us, and we would like to invite you all to help yourselves to some treats and some refreshments that are complimentary. So thank you all very much for coming and attending, and please stay and enjoy the space. And congratulations once again to our new inductees.